to game number 2 of Genesis Scrims. We are now in Miramar and we are watching team number 2, the Gen team. The match starts in 40 seconds, so as always, sit back, relax and enjoy. And here we go, and we are starting with an eastern to western flight path, starting off at Impala and heading over to El Pozo, with locations such as San Martin, Monte Nuevo, Los Leones and Hacienda well within reach, the well-known hot drops of the Miramar map. And Miramar is one of our longer maps, so this is where the teams really want to play to their strengths, with a lot of mountaintops to use as hiding places and to get great vantage points. Now we are seeing Team 24 RPG jumping relatively early, staying near to the coast at the moment, along with Team number 19 NH. We have Team 16 Sons of Odin also jumping, as well as Team number 5 the Zen team. And as the flight path continues, we're seeing more teams jumping out, spreading out relatively evenly, with teams 23 Penn, team number 10 Riot, and team 25 the Salty Snakes also jumping relatively late, with one of the last teams being team 17 NH going towards Crater Fields along with team number 2 Gen. But for now, let's go straight over to team 24 RPG, with RPG Python getting a knock on NH Vixen. And Python then gets the knock on Squishy as well, with NH Propane just retreating, being chased down by Legolas, who manages to get the knock there with a UMP. And that leaves NH Adam, who is running towards south, massively retreating, getting away from this. It was just unfortunate that RPG managed to get the loot first. And NH Adam is not willing to hang around to find out. So that leaves Team 24, and let's go over to NH Ranger, who has just got a knock also, with Team 18 going up against Teams 23 and Team number 22. And we are seeing NH drop dead knocked at the moment, with teams 22 and 18 mixing up at the moment. And NH drop dead has just been revived, but Nemesis is also on very low health, with Obelisk hanging out in the same building as Team 22 at the moment, just taking cover, and is now moving out of the window, with a brilliant grenade just being thrown in by Darksea there, managing to knock Nemesis, and another one coming back, but just hitting the wall, so not getting the shot it needed. Nemesis is now being revived by Ranger, and another grenade is thrown, but again it just hits the wall on the right side, so doesn't get the hit it was hoping for. And we can see Mamraj over towards 105 with a flare being shot up at 100. So trying to get that early rotation in, whilst the remainder of Team 18 focus on Team 22, with FE Towel being knocked by Ranger. And NH Drop Dead has just been finished off by Team 22 there, leaving it 3v3 as Zen comes in on the left-hand side and gets a knock on Susan Jacqueline from Jen. We still have Obelisk in the same building as Team 22, but hasn't yet pushed. But Obelisk manages to get a knock on Mamraj there and gets the kill. And that will put pressure on Team 22 as they finally realise that there is an enemy in the same building as them. And we're now seeing Nemesis make a push forward behind the wall at the moment out west, just coming over towards their building to get into the bottom floor to hopefully take Team 22 by surprise. We still have Obelisk inside on the lower floor with FE on the top floor, and that is a knock with Obelisk being taken down by FE Darksea there. So we now have NH Nemesis just about to cross over with Ranger still in the arena there. We also have Team 23 over at 210 staying right out of the action at the moment, letting Team 18 and Team 22 take it out on each other, using up their loot, their meds, their grenades, and then they were just sliding, as they have done with Pencons, getting the knock on Darksea there. So at the moment it looks as though Team 22 are going to be third-partied, sandwiched in between Team 18 and Team 23. And that is where you just realise that what Team 23 are doing is waiting for that perfect opportunity. They are not shooting when they don't have to. They are not throwing grenades when they don't have to. They are just waiting for that second whereby they can quickly jump in and make the most and give as much damage as they possibly can and get the knocks and the kills. And that is exactly what they're doing with Pencons getting the knock that he just did. And as we have a quick look at the map, let's move over now to Team 11, Riot, who are near to Deathly Hallows at the moment. And here we are back with Riot Gavstar, and they are in a Jeep at the moment, just moving into the next compound. They have managed to miss any interaction they may have had with team number 8, Deathly Hallows, who are nearest to team 10, Riot, at the moment. We are seeing in the western side of the map, team 7 coming up to team number 6. So let's have a quick look at Zen Fault at the moment as they start moving in towards the zone with around 780 metres yet to go. And Zen Alex has managed to knock herself as good guy Argon just tries to drive up to Zen Fault there. And we have just had the other members of Team 7 just drive by with Zen Fault managing to move out of the way. And they are now proceeding on the eastern side of Zen Fault as they try and drive away with shots being fired at them by Team 6. Zen Alex is still knocked at the moment. Let's try and find out where she is. And she is around 2,000 metres to zone at the moment and has unfortunately been abandoned by the rest of her team. So at the moment I do feel for Alex because she may have been revived if her team were nearby. But let's return to them now as they now continue to make their way into zone. And now that things are a little quiet, it will be a good opportunity to look at the map. And as we can see, the zone is moving towards the eastern side of the map, with a fair few teams having to come through. We see teams like 24 RPG at the moment, and if we just jump over to them, they are inside buildings at the moment around the mountaintops. So this would be a good chance for them to gatekeep some of the teams that are going to be coming in, such as Team 23 Penn from the western side, along with Teams 6 and 7 from the northwestern side. And we will have Team 15 Sons of Odin and Team 18 NH hopefully gatekeeping the other Sons of Odin team, Team 16, Lionhearts of Team 9, Team 10 Riot, and Deathly Hallows Team 8 also coming in from the western and southwestern side. But for now, let's have a quick look at Team 16. And it seems as though what we're seeing at the moment is a few teams are being slightly apprehensive about taking any risky moves at the moment. Now, the reason for that, I'm not entirely sure. Some teams may want to maintain their reputation by trying to get really high placement without doing anything too risky. But at the same time, if all the teams take that point of view, then games can become really, they can start to drag a little bit. And that's where things like the Blue Zone come into play, as I mentioned in Game 1, where they start pushing teams together and forcing them to make some moves. And as we can see now, Riot Mel has just knocked Zen and Venom, so let's jump right over and have a quick look as Team 10 take on Team 5. And here we go as Team 5 come up against Team 10 with Team 2 over at 70 by the drop at the moment. We have both teams relatively compacted together with Formal and Wizard taking the church and Mel and Ghost inside the shack to the right. We have Zen Missy moving around the window ledge at the moment. And now the grenades start to rain in, with the first grenade heading towards Riot, but unfortunately not connecting in the way that they would want to. Another is just thrown in, but a little bit late. And now Missy shooting with an M249 with Ghost and Mel returning shots. And now with Naughty firing from the left-hand side, we have Team 25, Salty Snakes, just moving in. And Gavstar takes down Ranger, and then Naughty takes down Jen Temp over at 100. So now Jen being brought into this fight. So at the moment we're seeing Jen going up against Zen, going up against Riot. And Tango gets a knock on Pen Raza. So let's just jump over there briefly and have a quick look at the Deathly Hallows team as Buff gets a knock also on Team 24 Legolas. And Buff almost getting knocked by Daryl there as Jen rolls, takes down Towel, and Orphic gets the kill on the Sons of Odin team. And Buff is just knocked by RPG Daryl with Mini 14 there. And now the Blue Zone crosses over and is doing a fair amount of damage with Bazza now trying to get the revive as Tango provides cover fire and Jammy moves forward to spot. And the Salty Snakes team is now moving in on Gen, team number 2 that we were with a moment ago. And Pen Devious is now going up against RPG and gets the knock on Python there. And Pen Devious gets the kill on Python on the left hand side. But for now, let's leave Deathly Hallows as they are coming up to Teams 9 Lionhearts and Team 21 and go straight over there to see who has just got a knock. And that is Lionhearts down, almost getting a squad wipe themselves, with Lorianne being the last remaining member and managing to get the kills there. And is now going to revive Leroy and Orphic. But let's jump straight up to team number 2 as they come up against the Salty Snakes team, with Avery being the last standing member of Team 25 at the moment, with Fuji and I Am Game both being knocked. And Jammy from Deathly Hallows has just got a knock, with Legolas taking down a buff. As teammates go up against Team 24.
Miss Chichi. In the Casto and the Mountain.
Get out the old shot. Get out the old shot.
And I do apologise that somebody is coming across on the all chat. And as always, a little rule of mine, all chat goes on, they go in the best bits. That will be uploaded shortly after the end of game number 2. And we are now seeing Jiggle get a knock on Jen Darshan with an Uzi, and Tango preparing a grenade, with Jen Nick knocking Thundervoid and Moonin. And Sons of Odin Jacko has now got a knock on Salty Snakes Fuji, with the play zone knocking Bazza, leaving Tango the last standing member of Team 8. And unfortunately is taken down by our PG Lola. And we now join team number 5, Zen Venom getting a knock against Team 25. And is now going to try and get the finish, with Ken Devious knocking Riot Wizard and getting the kill, with Zen Venom knocking I Am Game. And Bailey knocking SS Avery, and Jiggle getting the kill on Jen Spook. And Fuji has just got the knock on Bailey, and it looks as though Zen Venom is going to try and get an angle. And it looks as though Zen Venom is now going to try and get another knock on Fuji there, who is just hiding behind the wooden box at the moment. And Legolas gets the kill on Deadpool and Tiger there, with Pen Devious taking out Orphic and Jiggle knocking NH Flareon, with Duke then knocking Jiggle, with Riot Mel taking down Jen Chris. And Fuji manages to take down VA Lorien and gets the kill there with Jen Fitzy taking down Riot Formal, and Zen Venom manages to get the kill on Fuji there, leaving Leroyd to just heal up and keep moving in, as the zone will change in around 1 minute's time. And now what we are seeing, if we look across the map, is that all teams are fairly spread out at the moment. And as the blue zone comes in around 50 seconds time, this will start pushing them closer together. And Leroyd is unfortunately on low health at the moment, but should be able to use a first aid kit shortly. And Zen Venom just got taken down by Jen Fitzy, all the way over at 320. And we are seeing Legolas being taken out by NH Big Steve down the bottom of the hillside at the moment, with RPG Lola trying to take this compound by the coast. As Team 17 move in, we have Jem Fitzy now coming down with Pen Devious, as well as Leroyd over at 230. And now both teams 17 and 24 are inside the next zone. So they will now want to gatekeep the other teams from moving in. And especially with Jen Fitzy armed with a sniper, and as we've just seen, a brilliant shot, that is one of the players that they will want to take down quick. And as we've just seen, the play zone has taken down Leroyd. It could take down either Fitzy or Devious if they're not able to get in zone. And if the other teams are able to effectively gatekeep, that could take out a couple of their problems, with Fitzy now knocking NH Flareon again with a sniper, and Big Steve moving in towards RPG Lola, who is on an unfortunate position at the moment. Looks as though Lola may be stuck on this mountaintop at the moment. No, that's okay. They're back up, and Big Steve is just perched on the corner there. And Big Steve has just fallen into the water, so we'll now need to swim round, giving Lola the opportunity to heal up. And we've now got Jen Fitzy pushing across the mountaintop to try and get more shots onto Team 17. And by doing that, it leaves Pen Devious to just sneak in, as nobody is focusing on that direction at the moment, as Team 24 RPG and Team 2 Jen focus all their attention on Team 17. And that is how Pen Devious can just sneak in, but unfortunately is taken down by RPG Lola. And we have NH Flareon just in that other shed over at 310. We have Jem Fitzy over at 335. And we have Big Steve and Duke just coming in around the right-hand side, with RPG Lola hiding. We've got Flareon just coming around the back. And that is RPG Lola taken out by Flareon with an Uzi. Jen Fitzy has just taken down a Big Steve. So it is now Team 2 v Team 17. And at the moment, Fitzy is the only one inside zone. So if he can effectively gatekeep Team 17, this may be an easy win for Jen. And we now have Team 17 moving in towards Fitzy, with a grenade being thrown but not doing enough damage. And we now have smokes being thrown in by Flareon there, with shots being taken by Duke trying to hit Fitzy, and Fitzy just moving around the right hand side, using Flareon smoke to his advantage as Team 17 continue to push. And here comes a molly, but unfortunately misses its target. And that is it, with Flareon getting the final shot on Fitzy, meaning that Team NH get another win for Game 2 with 4 kills. We have Jen in second with 8. We have RPG in third with 9. We have Pen in fourth with 3. And we have VA in fifth with 6 kills. If you have enjoyed this stream, please follow the channel with new content added daily. You have been watching Genesis Scrims, and all that is left for me to say is please take care, stay safe, and we will see you the same time next week. Good night, guys, and thanks for watching.